everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Meet the Brewer. Usually we do it during our lives, but today we're going to go ahead and start a new segment for this. Everybody's been asking for it, so let's do it. Today we are at Two Tones in Whitehall off of Broad Street. We have brewer Anthony with us.
Hello. I'm Anthony. I'm one of the Tonys. I go by Anthony, he goes by Tony. I'm one of the two Tonys here at Two Tones Brewing Company.
All right. How long have you been here?
We started the brewery in 2016. It's actually located around the corner here in Whitehall. We had a small warehouse space that just supplied kegs to bars and restaurants around town. But then we opened up the tap room in 2019. So yeah, it's been going pretty good.
I remember going to you guys' facility when you guys were in that storage unit type thing.
Oh, did you?
So that was when you guys were kegging, right?
Yeah.
And
We're
distributing from there?
Yep, we were just kegging out of there and self-distribution out of that.
Yeah,
So-
I do remember that. That was pretty cool. I like the little, like you guys kind of have the same setup in the front with the patio and stuff.
Yeah.
With the picnic tables.
Yeah.
So how is your beer connected with the local community?
How's it connected? Well, I'll tell you, Whitehall, we seem to have a pretty good local following here in Whitehall. We do, as far as connected with our local community at least, we sponsor like a football team here in Whitehall, the Rams. We sponsor stuff for the Whitehall Food Truck Fest. So we set up a tent out there. It's normally in July. And so they have like a festival and a music concert with a lot of food trucks, and we're also set up there. We're the craft beer provider for that. And then we have a lot of local regulars that have built their own community in here, and they all gravitate towards each other, and they have their own little cliques that they deal with. So yeah, we've built like a community in that sense, but we also try to help the local community around here as best we can.
Do you guys have a mug club or anything like that?
We do. We have a mug club. That's, you get a glass. For years, you'd get your own glass. It'd be a different mug every year, but this year we kind of ran out of mugs for our current supplier. There's only so many 20-ounce mugs they supplied, so on year like 6 of it, 5, we kind of ran out, so we're going to have to look elsewhere. But yeah, you get a mug. You still get a mug anyways, it just doesn't have a number on it this time. And then there's benefits that come with it, 4 extra ounces. Whether it's a 12-ounce or a 16-ounce, you get 4 extra. And then discounts on merchandise. You get a birthday flight in your birthday month. And then Mug Club Sundays, you get $1 off both pints and half pours, and growler discounts throughout the week, and then an extra $1 off those on Sundays.
Wow, so that's really beneficial then.
Yeah. I think I calculated if you get 1 beer or 2 beers a week, it pays for itself. That's just, and then we have people that get a lot more than that. So yeah.
No doubt. So what makes your beer stand out?
Well, I would have to say what makes ours stand out is just our unique way of, everybody's beer stands out, to their unique taste. But Tony, me, and Justin are 3 brewers. It's mainly just Tony and Justin now. But we always get together and come up with ideas or stuff. Tasting beers we've had elsewhere and things we might want to try. But I think what makes ours stand out is we just have like a variety of new school and old school. I wouldn't say we're too experimental, but we always do have something like that. But, we're just really focused, and I bet everybody says it, but we're just really focused on the quality of the beer. So we just make sure, it's something we would definitely want to drink. And over the years, I feel like we've gotten, fine-tuned our process. We know everything well. Justin's been here forever, Tony, since the beginning, me. So I feel like we've worked out most of the kinks in our system, and now we're just focusing on, recipe creation best we can. And we're also, focusing on water and stuff, water chemistry and stuff like that. So I feel like it just keeps we're working in the right direction. And yeah, I just like how everything's been coming out, and I think the beer has been doing well with the community. So yeah.
When you talk about water chemistry, you build your own?
We don't build our water from scratch yet. We'd like to get to a place where we do that. We're not like complete science nerds on it. However, we'd want to get there someday, maybe. There's a big industry in the brewing industry, which is probably the right way to do it. They're all building water from the ground up, and believe me, that's amazing if you have that dedication, which we're working on that now. That's our next step. So we were working our way up to getting to the water, taking one thing at a time, and the water would be great. So you could RO your water, reverse osmosis your water, strip it completely clean, and then build it up, whatever profile you want for whatever kind. We've just been taking our water that we've gotten tested and just tweaking it from there. But this would obviously make it a cleaner. It'd strip a lot of the stuff out. So we did that a little bit with our latest couple hazies, and I think it's gotten really good results. You can also, the pH at different stages of the brewing process really can make an effect on that end beer. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. That's kind of our next step.
Okay.
But having like a big reverse osmosis system put in would be like on our, I'd say, dream list or improvement list we're going for next.
So right now you just use city water and then you just try to refine it.
Yeah. Then
What got you into craft brewing?
What
got you into craft beer, and then what got you into brewing?
Yeah. So
question.
Tony got me into craft beer, but his brother got him into it. So Austin, Tony brother Austin, got him into craft beer. Probably in like 2008, and we were still in college, and I resisted for a while. I mean, I still liked Munich Dunkels and like darker beers. So I was into, I still like those, and I was starting to get into stouts, but I really did not break into craft beer.
So you didn't
than
start with the IPA kicks or the lagers.
I started with
just
stouts.
Went straight to the darker beers,
I know.
Dunkels. Which I mean, okay, a Dunkel and a Munich, they're lagers, they're dark lagers, right?
Yeah.
With a little bit more caramel malts and stuff.
Yeah.
But instead of starting with like something light, you went straight to Munich's, you went to German, Belgian, Belgian beers, and then stouts.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because a lot of people's like, oh, that's too thick, oh, that's too dark, that's too much, right?
Uh-huh.
But then you look at it and you're like, well, you look at a Guinness bottle because everybody knows Guinness. You look at a Guinness bottle and it says 4.2% ABV, right?
Oh yeah.
And then when you go over to Germany, it's only 3.5 over there.
Yeah.
So because of the Rhine High School law, right?
Yeah.
And then when you drink it, it's very watery, but you have that velvety flavor, that velvety taste, right? So for people that tells me they started off with, Bud Light, Michelob Ultras, or whatever it may be, right? It's weird how you're the opposite. You started in stouts and the Munichs and all that stuff. People are scared of those.
Oh, for sure. Why. Well, stouts, they're intimidating at first.
Stouts were my favorite.
They were yours from the beginning?
I'm gluten-free now, so unfortunately I have a gluten allergy.
Oh.
But yeah, stouts were my favorite.
Your favorite? Yeah. I started out loving stouts. I've since went down, but I kind of getting back into them a little bit, but I don't like them as big as I used to. I mean, when I first started, a 10% stout was right up my alley. That was like my favorite.
It's more like a breakfast stout or an imperial.
Oh yeah, well, Founder's breakfast stout was like my favorite.
Vanilla. All
it had it all for me. I still like it, but it's that was like one of my first true loves in beer. But yeah, so I got into stouts, and I've met some other people that was their first beer, but it's not. It's not probably normal. It's probably the exception. And I did not like IPAs, and then they kept handing me, an IPA every day or a couple days, and I just was like, no, I don't want it. Get that out of here. I don't want it. It's not my style. And they kept handing it, and one day you taste it, and it's not so bad. Okay, that wasn't awful. Next day you try it, and you're like, okay, I can see why you like it, maybe. Yeah, and then like all of a sudden they hand it to you one day, and you're like, dang, that's really good. And then the next day you wake up, and you're like, I can go for an IPA. So
do you like Hefeweizens?
No, I'm not a huge Hefe fan. I don't mind them, but it's just not my style. I mean, time and place for everything, but not really my style. Do you like Hefe? Did you like Hefe?
I like Hefe. I used to drink Hefeweizens all the time.
Yeah.
I know one of mine was Left Hand Milk Stout was my favorite.
Yeah.
Guinness was the second.
Mhm.
And then I switched over to Hefeweizens. So like Gemüt or Hofbrauhaus, or the
Okay.
German style.
Yeah.
And then from there, I think I went to, I really like the triple and double Belgians.
What was that?
The triple and the doubles.
Oh, yeah.
For the Belgians.
Yeah.
A little bit more higher ABV, but they're still sweet, and they kind of like got a bourbon flavor.
Yeah, I can do doubles. Triples are tough for me. Doubles are okay. Surprisingly, quads are the ones I like the most.
Quads are very sweet.
Because they're more similar to a double than a triple is. And like, oh man, St. Bernardus 12 from back in the day. That was so good, and I'm sure it's still great. I want to say that's the one that they say is also the Westie 12. They stole it from them. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But St. Bernardus 12 was like, well, you know, if I'm going out of my way to get something good, I would get it to St. Bernardus 12. But I'm not huge on Belgians much anymore. But I probably should grab another one of those soon.
Another one of my favorites are albino stouts.
Okay,
They're
blonde
more
stout,
of, well, they're stouts, but they have more coffee flavor mixed in with them.
Yeah.
And they come out same as what you're drinking there.
Sure,
and they're very surprising. Like Wolf's Ridge got a really good albino stout. Saucy Brewers has a really good one. I think Little Fish also has a really good albino stout. So.
Yeah. Those are interesting. I don't mind. I like them too. We've never really per se or done or I call them blonde stouts, but albino stout.
Yeah.
We've never done one. But we have a coffee crumble. Now crumble's not a stout, but it's like a vanilla. It's a heavy vanilla.
That's a cream ale, right?
Yeah. I honestly, it doesn't really have its own category. I know Wolf's Ridge is, I think, a cream ale, but it's not. If I had to put it in a category, it would be a blonde milk stout. So it's got lactose in it, so it's brewed like a milk stout.
So it's milk stout.
But it's blonde, but it doesn't have the roastiness. Our coffee, see, that's where it's a blonde milk. Doesn't really have its own style.
It's got a vanilla flavor to it, probably more from the lactose than anything.
Yeah, well, no, we do have vanilla. You get both in there. The lactose just helps with like a sweetness on it.
Okay.
Kind of rounds it out, makes it a little custardy maybe if you put it like that. But it's got vanilla in it, and we have a coffee version that is more like a blonde stout because the coffee lends the roastiness. So yeah, I would consider that, but it's a vanilla blonde stout. So.
A vanilla blonde.
Yeah, it's one of our most popular. We're actually putting that on here in the next couple weeks. So it's been a minute since we had it on. So people really enjoy that beer. So they've been asking for it back and just haven't had time to get around to it, and we finally did.
A lot of the more like summer towards the fall area, those get really big because now the cooler weather's coming in, and what do you do on a crisp, cool day? You want to drink coffee, right?
Oh,
instead, let's go to the brewery and get a coffee stout or a blonde stout, as you call it.
Oh yeah.
How is working on a brewery different than anything else that you've done?
Well, I thought a brewery would be best for me. Like I went to school for accounting. I still am an accountant, so I do that during the day. And then Tony runs this place. I also work on nights and weekends, but it like kind of combined everything I loved because I like math enough to be an accountant at least, and I like business because I went to business school, so I do enjoy aspects of business, and I like engineering and I like hands-on work, like manual labor, because I don't get to do that much at my day job. So this was like perfect. Yeah, this was like, it's got business, it's got math, it's got chemistry, it's got engineering, it's got manual labor, and then the finished result is beer. And that's just like...
And you get to sit down and drink it and it tastes so good.
Yeah, so it was perfect.
You get to enjoy what you do.
Exactly, yeah.
For the end result.
Yeah, it's one of those rare things where, you get to just absolutely just, your product's here, you see it, you feel it, touch it, everything's right there. And all the hard work you put into it. Very tangible at the end of it.
So it's very worth everything that you do, and being able to see, like you said, see and feel the end result.
Yeah.
It gives it more of a gratitude-y feeling.
Oh, most definitely. So it's been different on multiple. I mean, I've had manual labor jobs. Never did anything engineering or chemistry, but I've had other aspects. But this just tied it all together, and it's been
everything
great.
That you love.
Yeah, all the
in
things that I
one.
love, all in one. So,
and you get to touch every single process of it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. You got to learn throughout it all the different aspects, the goods and the bad aspects, the not so fun parts and the fun parts. But yeah.
What is one thing that you discovered that totally surprised you? You was not expecting it. Like maybe it was your first batch that you did by yourself, and you're like, oh wow, this is actually really good. Maybe I didn't think I could do that. Or like, what is one big surprise or discovery that you have made while working here at the brewery?
Well, it's fun. The first batch, I'll do that one. The
Okay.
first batch we ever brewed was Uncle Joe's. And we were home brewers that never worked in any kind of commercial brewery with any of this equipment like you see in a commercial
So
brewery.
it was more like a homebrew kit?
What we used to do, it wasn't like a homebrew kit. We had moved on from a homebrew kit. We were doing, we still in glass carboys.
Okay.
But we were kegging, that kind of stuff. But we didn't have these fermenters with all the ports on them. And once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. But at first, piecing it together and stuff. We'd never been in one, so we're trying to figure this out the whole time. And we did test runs and stuff like that. Well, I remember on our first batch of beer, everything went great. Went into the fermenter, everything's good. We're all happy. All the numbers are hitting. And then we move it into the serving tank, and we've always carbonated beer in kegs from the top down in the headspace.
Oh, really?
Which takes like 2 weeks. We never had a carbonation stone.
Okay.
Which is just a porous,
right. Little guy.
Yeah, that will inject the CO2 directly into the liquid, versus how we used to do it was fill the headspace up, and then over time it would just permeate through the liquid, and then you'd have carbonated liquid, whatever, or beverage.
So you never had that chance to where you were rolling the little mini keg or the carboy just to get the carbonation.
I've shaken a keg up. Oh, well, no, we've done that. Yeah, if you really want to get it, we have picked it up, shook it a couple times, and then in a couple days, it's good, but the bubbles aren't right, but it's still drinkable and it's carbonated.
Yeah.
So we've done that, but then we had a carbonation stone and we moved it in the serving tank. And I remember looking at Tony and I said, okay, now how do we carbonate this? And I had the carbonation stone in my hand. At that point, the beer was already in the serving tank. So I found out the hard way that should have already been in the tank before you transferred in. So now we got,
so now you're
5 barrels of beer in the bright tank and no way to carbonate it. You cannot fill the headspace up and wait that long to carbonate that much liquid. There's a couple other ways I'd probably do it now, but what we did was I remember telling Tony that I've replaced a heating element in my electric hot water tank at home, and I was like, I remember if you take the pressure out of it and then seal it back up, when you pull that piece out, it doesn't shoot out, it glugs out because the air is trapped up there and it needs to bring air in to be able to push out. Anyways, I was like, it'll work the exact same way. He's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, it has to. It's physics. And so we put all the pressure out and closed it, sealed it off. And I took the cap off. I was like, all right, Tony, I'm going to put this in there. When I take the cap off, I'm going to put it in there, and it should just glug out. Have a little bucket there. Well, when I took the cap off, it didn't just glug. It came shooting out. I mean, I got it in there, but as you're shutting that in there, it sprays. So it was like a spray. Whole walk-in covered in beer. Had to clean it all up. But
oh my gosh.
Yeah, we got that. That beer was
you totally got a beer shower.
Oh yeah,
in a different way.
I was covered in beer. I must have reeked on the way home. But that was a test batch, and first batch we brewed on it, and it all worked. But now we know when the carb stone goes in. Before, yeah. So these are little things that you like. Homebrew, I know how we carved it, but probably should have done a little bit more research before we did that. But again, we were testing it out. That was what the test run was for. So.
But if you don't try it, you'll never know if it's going to fail or not, right?
We could have went to another brewery and asked to hang out and see how it all worked, but Then again, you might not see everything, but yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And now you're to
Yeah.
all of this. I mean, you got different sizes. Like I think
Yeah.
you got a 7-barrel here, maybe.
Oh no, this one's 2.5. Just a bit giant jacket on this. Those are 10s. This one's 10, and then we got 5s around the corner.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're all different sizes. Now, does that depending on the size, does that depend on what you're making in it?
Yeah. If we have a 10-barrel open, we go for the fast movers, the IPA, Kolsch, Crumble. It's pretty much the only ones that touch those. Maybe a lager every now and again, and then experimental or big beers or just slower movers, but we need them for the season.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go in here, and then the 5 barrels for everything else.
So you're pretty steady then.
Yeah,
Since
we
you
got
have so many different options, you keep it rolling.
Yeah, I mean that is one of the hardest things is to keep your schedule, like of what I wouldn't say the hardest, but that's a difficult thing. Just making sure you keep the schedule so you don't run out of the beers you can't run out of. You've got seasonal beers ready to go. You're not overloaded in your tanks or your walk-ins and stuff like that.
So
It's like a giant juggling act.
that kind of goes into my next question. What's your biggest fear?
Oh,
Besides running out of beer,
biggest
what would
fear?
be the biggest fear?
Starting to put out beer that no one wants. I mean,
Well, I mean-
the craft beer industry really dying, maybe. Biggest fear.
What's something you cannot live without as a brewer?
Cannot live without.
Yeah.
Oof. Cannot live without. I don't know. That's a tough one. Cannot live without. Like beer wise?
Just
Oh.
a brewery state of mind wise.
Brewery state of mind. I mean, you got to be happy about brewing beer. You got to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, this would be miserable. I feel like if you didn't enjoy creating beer and experimenting with beer and going for flavors, just like a cook, a chef
So-
might do.
You cannot live without the passion,
The
excitement,
Oh.
the energy, the emotions that everything
Yeah.
brings you.
Yeah, everyone has to have at least a little bit of passion in it, or I feel like it would kind of show its head quick and just doesn't seem like it would work that good.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
you said that you guys as brewers have been here for a long time.
Yeah,
right? Tony's been here since day one.
Yep, Justin, not long after that, our second employee,
Wow.
third employee. Yeah,
So you
So-
guys do not turn over your brewers.
No.
You guys know.
it's kind of a family and friends thing right now. They say don't mix family and friends in business, but I found I really like it. We've had success with it. Everybody has like skin in the game and passion and stuff, so you know it's
I mean, is
worked
it
pretty
really
good.
work if you're having fun every day doing what
Yeah,
you
that's
love?
another thing. Like
know?
we love to create new beers and try new beers and stuff like that. So, I mean, still to this day. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes we're not always drinking beer. Justin did dry January this year. It's a rough month, but we got through it. And then
There's NA beers, right?
there's NA beers. Yeah. But yeah, I think the passion really holds strong. You got to have passion. Or I think it shows in the end product.
Yeah, and you guys have been here for 9 years, right? It's
Yeah.
2016 to 2005.
Yeah.
25. So 9 years of having that passion, and it's not lost. I mean, look at what you guys are producing. You have a full house tonight, and it's only a Tuesday.
Tuesdays are good nights, bowling, but yes.
Your bar, I mean, your seating next to the bar is completely packed, and I did not expect that on a Tuesday.
I know. Well, I do like our Tuesday nights, but yeah, we keep. Yeah, I think it's it goes back to the passion and just you got to keep it up, and you hit roadblocks and slumps and stuff, but you'll catch another wind. Trust me, I've at least felt that way. I've caught another wind, and I'm really excited. Like right now, I'm really excited about the next round of beers we got coming up because we're hitting more on the lighter beers. So we got a Mexican lager. We're bringing our Pilsner back. We've got our toasted lager coming out. And those are going to be all light and like more crispy. And I'm excited for spring. So again, I get revitalized.
More light, clean, crisp beers.
Oh yeah, when my kind of styles are coming back around for the season or something. Or there's some new ones. The Mexican lagers are the first time we ever did it. I really like it. So I still get excited for that kind of stuff.
So with your guys' menu, you guys have a little bit of everything for everyone.
We try to, yeah. We try to.
What's the lightest you have on the menu right now?
Right now, it's probably not too light, but we're about to crack into it. I mean, we have a sour that's 4.2, but I don't really count that. We got a Kolsch that's 5, but we have that. We got a Pilsner. Our lager's also coming back out relatively soon, but that's 4.2. Pilsner, I think, is 4.7. The Mexican lager is 4.5. So we got a lot of light boys coming out, and I think a lot of people have been gravitating back towards lighter beers. So I think it's going to help out.
With it getting more hotter outside, right? People are going to drink more, and you would want the lighter beers.
Yeah, you want a lighter, crispier beer to cool you off.
Who came up with the names of the beers and why?
Oh, naming beers.
Naming beers.
Okay, I'll go back to another question. What do you dislike the most? I think you said something about that, or something like that. Naming beers.
You hate naming beers.
I used to love it. I mean, I wouldn't say hate, but it's gotten so difficult. It really has. Some of them just come to you. You know, like you've almost been waiting for them. They're almost perfect, and they just come to you, and you know them. But a lot of them are difficult. Like I've told people before, we can create a recipe in like a couple hours. It takes us a couple weeks to come up with a name for a beer. And it just racks on you, and you're constantly bouncing ideas back and forth. Does this work? Does this sound good? Does that sound good? Now, I think 50% of them we've done really good on, and then the other 50% most of them are really good, and a couple we probably could have done better. But yeah, I like naming some, and
What's
others
your favorite
I don't.
that you've named?
Oh gosh.
What style, and then what was it?
Wow, what's my favorite? There's so many. I was just looking through these the other day. I do like Space Laser, which is coming back out.
It sounds like an IPA.
Yeah.
A double or a
it's
hazy.
It's a double IPA.
Is it the double IPA?
It's a double IPA. It's our first double IPA we ever came out with. I remember watching a kids show with my kid. I think it's PJ Masks, and the mad scientist had something. He was just always had this Space Laser. I was like, wow, he just keeps calling it Space Laser. Like, that's a great beer name. So I was like, yeah, let's try that one.
So is the color of a Space Laser that comes out?
It's green. It's greenish. It's got a hue. Well, no, not green. I'm sorry. It's like this. It's just a regular IPA. It's not green, but it's hopped a lot, so that's why I went to green. But no, it's got the.
Did you dry hop it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we dry hop any IPA. We double the whole double dry hop. I still don't understand what they mean by that because we've been double dry hopping our regular IPA for years. We even triple dry hop some of them, and I want to say it used to quadruple dry hop. I think we need to get away from
the flavor, right?
I think maybe there's something I'm not catching, but to me, I don't care how many times you dry hopped it. I care more about how much you did per barrel or something. How many hops per barrel am I drinking? I mean, that seems to be way more significant than double dry hop or triple dry hop. I don't know. It's just a weird term, I always thought.
What's the easiest hop?
The easiest hop?
To work with, yeah.
I mean, they're all. I don't have any one hop that's harder to work with than another. I have a favorite hop, probably Mosaic.
Mosaic?
Mosaic.
Okay.
I love Mosaic. And Justin will kill me because his is Citra. And trust me, they're both amazing.
Citra.
A Citra Mosaic combination is.
I'll take a Mosaic any day.
Is great. And we've just started working with Nectron. I did like it first time we did it, so we'll keep working with that and see how that goes. But I've also liked El Dorado, a little bit more obscure hop, but not much. Simcoe and Amarillo, and even occasionally Cascade can be good, but I know it's a noble hop and stuff.
Right.
So it's in less hoppy beers, I would say.
So no Centennials or Columbus.
Never been a Centennial or Columbus fan, but yeah. I mean, I understand it, a lot of those.
Tear. Well, you're not doing a German.
We do those.
So.
We use that a lot in our internet. Dunkel has it.
Oh, that's right, you do.
In our European ales, Lothar, and then Saaz we've been using, Tettnanger, for those kind. But those aren't really shining hops, but they do in some styles. Good Pilsner, you can have those shine.
Final question.
Okay.
What advice can you give somebody that is starting out as a home brewer?
Oh, advice?
Or wanting to get into the brewery industry?
I would suggest asking questions to your local brewery if they're willing to answer them. Ask them their thoughts and each one's personal opinion on stuff. I did a business plan with Tony, and it took us a long time. Now, you don't absolutely need one, but I think going through the motions of actually creating the business plan, and it helps you think about all the little things you might not think about, so then it lends you to an actual framework. Because we did it to get loans and stuff. You don't have to if you've got it, or if you got a way of doing it. But I think coming up with like that tedious school kind of business loan or business plan, it's probably not for everybody, but I think it helped us understand like what all we're getting into, like all the different aspects that we're going to have to think about. It's not just about beer, it's about other things. Now, everyone's different. I would start out small. I liked how we started out small. You know, get your feet wet, you don't have too much on the line and stuff. And then, you know, don't take on too much debt. And like I said, everything can be different for everybody. I would not take on too much debt. I've heard that from other breweries around town as well. So I think that's solid advice. Start small. Don't take on too much debt. Do all the things you can do personally yourself. Like if you can, I know you need permits for a lot of stuff. And if you're getting loans and stuff, it requires certain contractors with certain stuff. Try to do everything you can yourself, building out your place and your space. And mainly just focus on the beer. Like obviously beer is number one. And then entertainment. Make sure keep something or try to make yourself a little unique or stand out. Just to make sure you have like an identity in the game. I think that would probably help out a lot of people. But yeah, ask questions if you do have them and focus on the beer. It's really the main things you got to do.
Do you take brew tours?
We do. We don't advertise them, but we've never charged for them either.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes in and we have time, be happy to give you a tour. It's not a big space, so it's pretty quick. But people seem to find it interesting. We got a overglorified like homebrew system. Our pots, when we brew them, they move. It's a split system, 2.5 barrel, 2.5 barrel. So we got 2 boil pots, 2 mash tuns, and we combine it into a 5 barrel or the 2 barrel, which do that. Or we a double batch to get a 10 barrel. And it's like we take the pots down. They're not stationary pots, so they're not clean in place. So it's literally a giant homebrew kettle, and people find that fascinating. A lot of homebrewers. And you know, we had a plate chiller when we were homebrewing, and this one's just a bigger version of it. We had a grinder when we were homebrewing. This one's just a bigger version of it. The fermenters are really where it changes, but yeah, I think people really like it. And yeah, if you want to come in, we have the time. We'd love to give you a tour.
What's your address?
4539 East Broad Street, Whitehall.
So come visit Two Tones.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
What am I drinking?
Yeah.
IPA.
IPA?
I feel like IPA.
What's it called?
Two Tones IPA.
Wow, that's simple.
Yeah. See, some of them
So who came up with that name?
we have 2 Tones. I think I did. No, that was this was the one that won the homebrew competition. So we created this recipe years, like back in 2012. So we named it 2 Tones to put it into a competition at Barley's. So we were the 2 Tones. So the name was 2 Tones IPA.
Wow.
And then the brewery, we decided to call the brewery 2 Tones. So we just left the name 2 Tones IPA.
Well, cheers to that.
Cheers. Thanks for coming in. Thank you.
Thank you.